there's a desire to live within. Did you just try to drink your microphone?
Sure did. Wow.
That's
I'm gonna zoom in on that.
I was so focused on the story. Oh, that visual is gonna be funny because I literally was like,
clip that so hard.
I had these both right here. I was like, it was like when Raya puts the microphone on her mouth. But I was like, I was like, wait, that doesn't feel right. Hello, and welcome to the All Nighter Podcast.
This is where the insomniacs come to get silly.
With your hosts, Ashlyn Benson, Alexis Leach, and Rhonda Lou. Oh my God.
All right.
Hey there.
Hi, y'all.
How the heck you doing? Oh, dude.
Welcome to the Up All Night Podcast.
Oh, wait, the All Nighter Podcast?
Shit. I always want to say the Up All Night Podcast, but it's just the All Nighter.
But it is like kind of its secondary name.
It is, yeah.
Earlier, Adam called us the Up All Night Crew or whatever.
Dude, I was last night and have been for the last week.
Dude, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping too, dog. Like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously different reasons, but.
Dude, I mean, like, so most of the time I'll go to bed at like 7 a.m., kind of sleep till like noon or whatever, but I've been waking up so much and then having a hard time falling back asleep, so it's like fucking like 5 hours of very interrupted sleep at most, but like this week it's almost been more like 3 hours a day, and I'm like,
girl, first of all, the fact that you can get, because this is like common for Ron, okay? I mean, like, what's the longest you slept?
what do you mean?
In the past 5 years, like the longest
time.
period of time.
Yeah.
Probably like 7 hours, but that's rare. It's like very.
So what do you
very
say
rare.
you
And
average
it is interrupted. There's never a time where it's not interrupted.
Like fully.
Yeah, because
fully
I get
ran.
sick every couple hours. It's like an hour and a half to 2 hours. 2 hours is kind of the max most of the time.
Is it horrendous getting sick in the middle of the night on your sleepy meds?
Well, so with Ambien in particular, it was awful because you're in a confused state, you know, and you don't, like, you won't remember. And so there would be times where I would just like wake up like still by the toilet and I would be like, fuck, you know. But with the one that I take now, it's an antihistamine. And I take a lot less because I sleep a lot less. And so I don't forget anything. I don't get anywhere near as foggy. I mean, it's like sedating, or like kind of, it makes you drowsy, but for me, more than anything, it just kind of relaxes me. Like, it's also used as an anti-anxiety med for people. And so it just makes me feel pretty calm.
The hydroxyzine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I use that for like when I'm having a really bad anxiety attack.
Yeah, one of my best friends does too.
Yeah, the doctor will have me take that on top of my regular stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty
and it works,
effective.
because you know what it does? It makes you go to sleep.
Yeah, and well, yeah, like for one of my best friends, that's how it is too. But he says that too. Like he takes a pretty low dose and it still like conks him out. And like for me, it doesn't really conk me out, but it does relax me enough to where I can fall asleep.
Yeah.
So, but like when I do get sick in the middle of the night and stuff, or the middle of the day technically, because that's when I'm sleeping. It's annoying, but it's not like it was with the Ambien, because I get back to bed, you know, safe and sound, you know.
And you don't have like the weird crazy dreams.
Exactly.
Like you did on Ambien.
Yeah, I mean, I still have some very crazy dreams, if I'm honest.
But I just remember the one time when you were hanging out with me and we were spending the night or something, and I just remember you woke up and you were like, the people, they're on fire. And I was like, what? And then you just literally went straight back to bed. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, I tell you. No, like the Ambien.
Not scary at all.
I was like, is this a prophecy? What is she telling me? Am I a prophet right now? Like,
Oh my god, dude. And well, I mean, they are kind of on fire right now.
this is true. Yeah. Like cutting those and like saving them for like Patreon if we ever have one. I think that would be hilarious.
I
Like,
think that would be great, dude. I think a Patreon would be a lot of fun for us, even if it was
If
just like
we
an
ever
extra
get,
30
like-
minutes or something.
I say if we get like 150 new subscribers
Yeah.
and downloads that we start a Patreon.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah. I would be
Let's
so
do it.
down. Dude, I'm so scared I'm going to lose my disability.
Oh my
am,
God.
Like, actually, like stressing the fuck out
No.
about it. Because like they're doing a review on it that isn't like a scheduled one.
Oh, that's like literally like you have
Yeah.
one that they scheduled that you weren't like, hey, we're scheduling this.
Right. Well, it was like normally I get it every 2 years. You know, it's kind of a standard thing or whatever. But this is an in between year that they're doing it, and it's kind of fucking weird. And so you know, the whole thing reads as like, yeah, I don't know. I fear that they are trying to make a lot of cuts, and like if they do make that cut for me, like I mean, I would kind of hope that someone would see how like getting sick every hour and a half and whatever, and as well as
Right.
needing to go to the bathroom from the other direction, how many fucking breaks it is. Like, I mean,
There is no way you could have any day-to-day job with like the stamina. First of all, able-bodied people do not have the stamina for 40 hours a week that we do right now, or if
Right,
you do
yeah.
50 or 60 if you're in the restaurant
Yes.
industry or whatever. But like, so we're already struggling at our healthiest, so it's like
Or
with
people working full time and going to school.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Hi, bitch, I'm tired.
yeah, dude.
Freaking
But like to your level, like that, I
and
can't
not-
even imagine.
And not being able to drive too. I mean, in order for me to work, it's like I have to.
You would have to like
help.
Uber
Like,
or
I-
like have Chad take
I-
you or me or somebody.
Exactly. I would have to have help because I can't afford constantly Ubering to a job. It would like cancel itself out over
Yeah.
and over again, you know?
And I mean, I just don't think, I mean, you would even need that stress. Like, I feel like that stress would like eventually kill you, you
Yeah.
know, which is then reason for disability.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think if I were to try to work consistently, even just part time, like I think it would take me down slowly.
Yeah.
I think
It
would
takes
kind
us down.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like,
I think it
fuck.
would run me into the ground in a lot of ways. And it's like, you know, I but at the same time, I am mentally preparing for that potential, you know, because it's like,
Luckily, you do have quite a following, though, that I do think you could make money off your art.
see, and that's exactly, well, like, so because when I was younger, before I was approved for disability and stuff, I would sell my art a lot more often because, you know, I needed the money. I
Right.
was like struggling really freaking hard, and I was painting and stuff anyway. And the thing is, I'm now too. But even like with that, it's like I would need somebody to take me to go to make prints and like
Right,
go
right.
do whatever. And I know that I have loved ones that would. And so, but I
But
do
not
think-
everybody has that, is
exactly.
the point. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so, I mean, like if it does happen, yeah, get ready to see some Etsy prints all over the fucking place from me, okay? Because that will be scary for me. You know, disability doesn't give me much at all. It's like $600 a month,
Which is like
Nothing.
What?
unlivable on my own. It's
That's
entirely unlivable.
Insane. That's like absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
that's
don't know
what
how
I
they
was
expect
making
anybody-
before my raise. Like I was making about probably like 800 every pay period, but with taxes that drops me down because of like health insurance, dental, blah blah blah, which you have to pay.
So your
'cause I
take
need
home
it.
was-
so my take home was like a month's rent, if that. Not even that today. Like
exactly.
back then when I was having to pay rent, it was my whole paycheck.
Yeah.
I barely had money to get by to eat food, and luckily I have parents that helped me. But even after I moved back in with them, because hi, surprise, yes, I'm 30 and I live with my parents.
Yo, I mean,
A lot of people do these days,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like it's hard out here for a motherfucker, you know.
Yeah.
And every time I have had like a bad moment or something, and like, you know, it's like Tear City or something, and I'm talking to my mom, she's like, it's not just you, like it happens to so many people. I'm like, you know, we get that and everything, but like
Yeah.
it still sucks,
It
you know.
feels like
this world is very vast, but it still does feel like
very
you are
limiting.
just one person. So it's like, yeah, I know other people are going through it, but it still makes me feel like I'm the only one going through it.
Well, especially because you were also sold that dream that like once you graduate college, you can buy a house, you can do all these things or whatever.
And then they don't teach you anything. I mean, they teach you important things, but they don't teach you like taxes,
how to do your credit score and stuff.
Yeah,
and they do that on purpose because they don't want us to know the tricks.
They don't want us to succeed most of the time. They only
trying
want
to keep
people,
us down.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're fucking eliminating the Federal Credit Bureau or whatever that like Elizabeth Warren had started so that fucking, you know, the credit card companies can't fucking scam the shit out of you. But so like they're kind of like removing that slight protection, which is something that everybody deserves too. But yeah, I do wish that I'd been taught more, at least about like the credit score shit, particularly. Now I finally have a credit score in existence because I used Self, which if you haven't heard of that, it is a way to build your credit. If particularly for someone like me on disability and stuff, it's like I can't. For me to have an extraneous credit card, it would just be like kind of creating debt for me that I'll never be able to pay off. But with Self, you can do like these monthly payments and they report it to a credit bureau and stuff. So you're
still building your credit
without taking a credit card.
Right.
And it's worked out for me. At least it exists now because for so long I just didn't have a credit score,
which is hard to do. Like
anything, yeah. Can't buy a house, can't buy a car, can't get loans, can't pretty much anything.
Exactly, I know.
And it sucks because your fucking credit is so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
And I think they make it that way on purpose, like you said, because they're just like
because they're often kind of predatory in that way.
Yes.
And
I mean, that was kind of like one of the first things that created this like class separation where it's like the poor become poor, the rich become richer kind of thing, because
the
like
poor
it didn't always used to be this way. Like you used to be able to live off of minimum wage, but like $7 an hour has not been upped since like I have no facts, so it's been some time, but
I want to say it's like the early 2000s or something.
Something like that.
But yet every single thing has gone up exponentially, almost doubling or tripling what it used to be. So it's like, how do they expect us to live? They don't. They want us to just die, I guess. I mean, it's also just already like that with the healthcare. Like, I mean, look, Trump has been absolutely dog shit, horrible, hell, asshole, hairy butt fucks. Like, it's been the worst thing that could have happened in life. However, before Trump, the healthcare system did still suck. And I know Obama tried to help it and there were certain things keeping it. But it's like even before Obama, it's just like, how is this happening to people? Like, why is it that when people get sick, instead of getting help, they get in debt?
They get in debt and then they're turned away a lot of times.
Yes.
I'm literally, whenever I was in between jobs, and it wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't like out of a job for like 7 months or something like that. It was literally 2 weeks. And I was like, oh my God, because what had happened was I had quit where I currently work and I was going to move somewhere else. And I ended up not liking it there. And so I asked my current job if I could come back. And they said yes, but they couldn't take me back right away because of I don't remember why. But they needed to kind of like create a position for me because they liked me so much.
Hell yeah, brother.
That they were willing to work with me, and because somebody else was leaving, they created kind of this position for me. And then once that the receptionist had left, then I stepped in and took her spot and started back full time. So it sucked though because I was only part-time when they had created that position for me. So I was out of work for 2 weeks and got sick, and it was when I had COVID. Oh. I didn't know I had COVID because I couldn't go to the doctor. But because I had tested once and it said that it was negative, like all those fucking tests do. And I was like, I probably just need to fucking wait and then like test again or whatever. But I was like, in the meantime, I guess I could just go to the doctor and then they could do like the PCR rapid tests that were way more accurate than the ones that were at home at the time.
Yeah.
And so I had my mom drive me to urgent care because I was so sick, coughing nonstop, could barely talk because my throat was so messed up. Like when I got COVID, it sucked, like in the throat area, it sucked. And so we go into the urgent care, and it is literally, at that time, this was 3 years ago, I think. It was like $200 just to be seen for an exam, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's an Xbox or something. Or maybe that's not even an Xbox anymore. It's probably like $1 million now. But
yeah, it's like half an Xbox. But yeah, no,
it just should not be that way. We should not, like, it should be a right to healthcare. It should be a right. Like, it definitely, absolutely. And it's also a right to housing. Should even also in terms,
be. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I was even going to say that, even in terms of like homeless people, if they were at least getting health care, whether that's by the way of like physical health care and fucking mental health care, those two things in tandem might actually help improve the homelessness situation. The right to housing, I believe, should be, like universal, essentially, in my mind.
But nothing's free in America.
But I wish that they would fucking convert half of the unused spaces in these like huge ass business buildings, that they could just convert into fucking apartments or whatever for homeless people and just make it public housing. Like
that is so much better of a explanation, because I don't know if it's been said, but before he got reelected, or like right after, I had seen articles about he wanted to implement homeless camps. So I'm like, why do we have to call them camps? Like, why can't they be, like you said, homelessness housing or whatever? Like,
and even if they wanted to do something more communal, like a group homes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like group homes would be. I mean, understandably, it would be something to run or whatever, but it would actually, like I said,
but it would help enhance society.
Exactly.
I think like
because it is so fucking hard.
Rather than putting the fucking like at the Quick Trips and stuff, or like convenience stores, the bumpy things around the doors.
Exactly,
or like
the hostel.
Yeah.
See that? Oh god,
so
I
I'm
could
like,
go
why,
off
like,
about
why?
hostel architecture. I could
like, don't get me wrong. I
understand it's a business and everything. I understand all of it, but like, brother, like nobody sleeps somewhere like that because they want to.
Yeah.
And that's the safest place for them at that time.
It's like, lit. There's people right inside.
Exactly. There's cameras. Like, I mean, I would probably make the same choice. And like, dude, like, I mean, particularly for me, if I didn't have the support system that I do, it's like, I don't see myself as far removed, from anyone like that, because I mean, fucking, it'd be hard. It'd be costly to survive out here. And I was actually going to get to that, like in like child health care or whatever, they really won't turn you away most of the time. If you're a child and you're sick, and I was, they won't turn you away if you're not insured or whatever. At least you can normally find hospitals that won't.
And it's surprising because I was in Texas too, like when you were like really in the thick of your illness, which is very surprising.
Yeah. And well, it's crazy. I mean, I suppose I can actually talk about this. It's the one of the first and longest hospital stays when a lot of my conditions just like fucking upped in severity. We weren't insured at that time. That was one of the only periods where we were not insured. And
which is when that always happens.
Something crazy, horrible, something brutal, yeah. And so the bill, because it was like 3 months, dude. I mean, the bill was
just to stay in the hospital. I can't even imagine.
Exactly, it was well over $1 million. And my social worker had for a kid.
Like that's because how old were you at that time?
I was 15.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say like 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, well, it started when I was like 13, but where I would get sick
you were
every
like
day. But when
in the hospital, it was like you were like 15.
Yeah, because it like 13, 14, I would get sick every day around the same time. It was almost like clockwork, and it would just be like stomach acid and stuff. So like all those years, but then around 15, it got to this point where I couldn't keep liquid down. I couldn't keep food down, and it was awful. It was awful. But anyway, my social worker, Sunny, actually, was her name. She applied me for this charity called like Hero something charity. and they covered it.
Well, shout out Sunny because
Shout out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
See,
and I like have like a
I'm so, like,
t-shirt
left
and
out of the
stuff.
loop on some of these things.
Well,
dude.
I didn't know.
I mean,
well, I didn't know you. I didn't
listen,
even know that you had like a what'd you say who was she to you?
A social worker.
Social worker.
Oh yeah, no, I loved the social workers there at that hospital, that child hospital, and the nurses. Courtney, dude, there's so many people I could shout out. Sarah, I know you can never see this. I doubt you would ever see this, but
know.
I loved you.
Hey man, I've seen stories where stuff like that happens, where like kids that were in, child hospitals, they have like either stories where they were too little to like remember the nurse and be able to reach out to them later in life, but they just like bump into each other on the street and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, if I ran
How
into,
cool would that be if this
I
podcast
know.
brought you back to them?
Well, there were so many of the social workers there
Anyway,
that really
sorry, go
were looking out for me in every way and making me feel like a human and like,
Yeah.
playing with me and creating with me and stuff. Like there was one
Making
who,
it not feel like a hospital.
Exactly. Yeah. There was one girl who was younger and she did some like collage bracelets with me and like
Aw.
fucking I still have it. A lot of these things, particularly from that period, I kept.
You kept, yeah.
I'm a sentimental asshole. I have like a chest full, like a very
Tagline.
vintage. For real though.
I'm a sentimental asshole.
I have a very vintage chest full of all my sentimental things. A lot of our stuff growing up, like
Yeah,
my
I do
my
too.
Game
I've got like a little
Boys.
box that has like some of the notes that you wrote me, letters from when you lived in
and
Texas
like
and
drawings and like all this stuff. Yeah, I kept
My mom
all
was
of
like,
it.
"You have this stuff?" Whenever I was moving back in, or no, we were getting a bunch of my stuff out of storage. And
I have journals from middle school where I wrote my first songs and stuff. I keep all of it, and particularly things that tie me to a memory of a person,
Right,
like
yeah.
those social workers and whatever. And so, but with that charity foundation, when they kind of like awarded it to me and like gave me a shirt and like kind of gave
how
me
did
a whole to
where
do.
the fuck was I?
Yeah, I mean, I think you were probably still working at Copeland's or something at that point. Copeland's or Levy, I can't remember. But you were there a decent amount of the time.
so you
but-
would have been like 17, 18 in Texas, or 18, 19?
Yeah, well,
18.
but I mean, when you were in the hospital, I stayed with
Right.
you. Like, I just like lived there basically.
Because I was gonna say you would have known like what was going on. Like they
Yeah,
would have been
right?
like
But
19 years.
also-
But maybe it was also like it was such a processing of what was happening to Rhonda.
True, yeah.
That I think I've learned now, like from other past traumas, that I forget. Like that's how I cope.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and well, like
yes, that's good. I don't know.
I mean, I fear any day of any loved one getting sick because it's not something I ever want anybody else to understand or go through. But yeah, with that charity, like I said, when they gave me the shirt and stuff, and they gave me like a little certificate and whatever, and all that, like I thought it was just something that they were kind of like doing to like make me feel better. But yeah, it was only after the fact that Mom had told me that they paid for, and I didn't even know how much the bill was. I didn't know how the bill was going to be or not be taken care of.
So you knew how much the bill was.
Yes, my mom told me after the fact. She was like, it was over $1 million. And,
but you
and
didn't
they
know up
covered
to
it.
that point how much it was?
No,
Oh.
she never really talked with me about it.
She probably didn't want you to worry about
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Like my parents.
She didn't tell me. They didn't talk to me about it either. At all.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were both just like struggling with the fact that was happening in the first
Hanging
place,
over their head and-
because I mean it like again, like the timing of it was just like
And,
awful.
Like, how insane though to like have a sick kid. And
Well, have you guys ever seen John Q?
No. John Q.
Oh my God! Tonight, go watch John Q. It'll make you cry.
Okay. Is it a movie?
Brother, it's a Denzel movie. First of all,
really?
yeah. Oh my. Okay, so I'm gonna just drop a few spoilers for you. So it's Denzel Washington and his wife, and they have a small son. And I think it's like the opening scene. I think is like the son is playing at his like little league tournament or something, and he goes down. Right. He has something wrong with his heart, and they can't pay for it. And so basically, John. I can't remember Denzel is John Q, or if the kid's name is John, or if they're like named like have the same name. But anyway, long story short, I can't remember why they like won't let him donate his heart to him or something, and then like he also is like put on a waiting list and all this stuff. But long story short, he like takes the hospital hostage to like try to save his kid.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that
you know
that
what
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a really really good movie.
Damn. But yeah, I mean it's.
But that's kind of like what it's making me think of.
Yeah, I mean, well, because parents would do anything for their kids, you know, and it really is.
Yeah, and I remember them kind of stressing about it. I mean, you know, they didn't tell me the specifics, but I just remember, I mean, there was so much like that was.
I wonder how
painful as hell. Absolutely painful. And it is wild too, because like I think I've talked about it with you before, like that I didn't really think of myself as a child at that time, like when it happened, because like
going through so many grown up things.
Exactly. Yes,
yeah. Well, your childhood was lost.
Exactly. Yeah. Like my childhood
sick.
Was over, and like I was kind of facing my mortality in a way that I hadn't before. And it was a fucking trip.
Because I mean,
but like as an adult though, there's like really not a lot of like charities or foundations that work in that way for you. Like as a child, like yes, but like as an adult, like you're like SOL pretty much every fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Like I mean, like that's something too. Like as afraid as I am of losing disability, I'm scared further still of losing Medicaid, because it's like if I lose disability, that's one thing, and like I said, I have the kind of support system that I wish everybody could have, but as far as losing Medicaid, dude, like that would actually make it impossible to survive, because I mean like my home health stuff without insurance is insanely expensive. The routine surgery that I do for the GJ tube, insanely expensive. I
and
mean,
like if you don't have that changed, it's like, bruh.
Exactly.
Like you have
then
to,
I would starve, you know, because it
starve,
moves out
it would
of
get
place.
infected, you would become septic, and then you would die.
Yeah, like I mean, all of the like.
So if you voted for Trump,
literally,
I'm coming for you.
I swear, dude. I mean, like, well, when it comes to
but
Medicaid,
it's like it
and stuff,
affects people's lives like
literally.
this.
Yeah, if they cut that, dude, it will be so brutal. Not just for me. That kind of thing will affect. I mean, anybody who's
who has
on
health,
Medicaid, you know, they probably fucking really need it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just
it could kill people. I mean, it would just kill a big group of people.
It would kill people. It would lead them to homelessness. It would lead them to bankruptcy.
And that's probably what they want.
And it's just...
That's probably why they're fucking doing it.
It's insane. I mean, like, so far, I will say, they have not cut my Medicaid, you know, and you know, I'm doing the disability review, and we'll see how in the heck that goes, you know, but it's like even the same things that affect my ability to work are also the same things that affect like me being able to sing and stuff. Like if I get sick like 10 minutes before, I mean, it just fucks my esophagus right up, you know, and then I mean, it quite literally, performing scares the actual shit out of me. I shouldn't be embarrassed to say this, but I am a little. It's that, I mean, I can be constipated for a couple of days. I get constipated fairly regularly because I get easily dehydrated and whatever, but because it's hard to keep up with, frankly, but well, because it's like, you know, I can drink and stuff, but it's all irrelevant, you know, like it all comes back around.
It only matters if you put it through the tube.
Exactly. Yeah. And the accessibility to my tube is only, you know, in the spaces that I feel comfortable, and like it's whatever, but yeah, I mean, I can be constipated for a couple days, and then I'll go to perform, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's like all last week's shit. I'm sorry.
No, that was brilliant. Brava.
I come in here and I have like a thought process on what's going to be said, and then shit just like, no pun intended, just is flying off the wall, you know? It's great. I love it.
And I've been watching. It's only been off for 1 second or so.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to start a timer
on.
now. Because I meant to when we started, and then I forgot.
But yeah, I mean, it's actually ridiculous. I'm like, this is where the saying comes from. And I'm like, God damn it. But actually, this last week performing, on my own. We started, like I said, with Sweet Fantasy. So Chad and I sang together. Comfortable Song, a song that I love. It's his song. It's beautiful. And then I went into my stuff, and I actually felt so much better. And well, that too. I didn't get sick 10 minutes before that time. It was like a half an hour before. So
you
like
just needed to clear the pipes, so to say.
So to speak.
Yeah, I like so to say.
So to say is cute, actually. Clear the pipes and hit a pipe.
Pipes.
Then use your pipes.
So you're just a plumber.
I am a plumber. Oh my God, it's insane.
My man would be proud of that joke.
Yeah, right.
The fact that you perform it all is amazing. You know,
I mean, it is.
It takes freaking gusto to get up there, dude.
I mean, it is. That's the one thing like that I feel like I always felt like I couldn't ever do again. Like that was something I had like written
after
off
you got sick.
Yeah, like once it was like really intense and stuff, or like that last like bout of like when I had lost a shit ton of weight, like right before COVID and stuff, like that frame of mind. And actually, the song that I wrote was from that time. It was from that like worst time. And so and I might post it tomorrow, but
it's really good.
Well, yeah, it'll be like a couple weeks from this one, I suppose.
While we're here, you better subscribe to Rhonda's music channel.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I guess it's really your main channel because you got music and a podcast.
Yeah, I got music, I got a podcast, I got a couple little personal videos and stuff on there, and I think I'll throw some covers on there from time to time too. But yeah, I've been more active with that just because I'm like making stuff, and I'm like, well, you know, I can at least use it to like share with family. I've been putting a lot of videos as unlisted and just kind of sending them to the people that I love, and
just kind of playing around with them.
Yeah, and like with this one though, I mean, like that one, it meant a lot to me in that time because it was one of the only songs that I wrote in that time. Because like, I mean, I was just like operating in survival mode entirely, and it was very hard to be creative. But yeah, I mean, it's been strange.
Are you feel like you're giving yourself enough rest?
I hope so. I mean, I think that I still kind of struggle with that a little bit because it's the issue with me, and even when it comes to being disabled and stuff too, dude, what drives me crazy is that like I would give anything to be capable of working. My
mom says that all the time.
Yeah, I would give anything to contribute in that way. And I think there's even jobs that I could find that would be very fulfilling. When I was growing up, I actually did want to be a social worker. That was the primary goal for me. Like my parents were like, it's a thankless job and doesn't pay well. But I was like, exactly. Like that's why I want to do
that's
it.
That's who Rhonda is.
Yeah, that job was made for someone like Rhonda.
Didn't you work in a hospice for a while?
Yeah, well, I'd done a lot of volunteering.
Okay.
Yeah, with the churches that I went to, because like Grace Hospice was involved with different churches, Clare House was involved with different churches and stuff, and so it kind of gave like that same kind of fulfillment outlet and everything as well. And it's like I crave that. I crave, you know, feeling like I can be of service somewhere. And so, you know, it's not for lack of wanting it. And so when it comes to like, you know, getting rest now, it's like that's kind of the conundrum I find myself in a lot of the time, is that everything that I'm doing, I'm thoroughly enjoying. It can be costly. And like I do struggle, like say like, you know, that performance at Gypsy and stuff. Because that day I didn't have my nausea medication. It was like out of stock or whatever for like 3 days, and it was just brutal, dude. It was just so brutal because it's like it doesn't, even with the medication, it doesn't take it away.
Oh,
hello. I don't even have my vape in my hand.
Is it your necklace?
My necklace?
Or is it the vape?
Hello. It is. Is it me? It looks like it's one.
Oh my gosh, it's a ghost. Because oh god. But like you can see it making noise. You know what I mean? So it's not just like us hearing it. Like it's literally.
Yeah. Okay, it seemed to stop.
The ghost went away. Oh my god.
Just wanted to come and say hey.
Because it was almost like a beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like,
Trying to dance, ghost.
Yeah, we can hang.
Someone get the lights.
Casper?
I wonder if, like, I guess the audio, like the people listening, would probably still be able to hear it.
Yeah, I think so because it was reading on there.
Ghost on camera.
That's the title.
Ooh. Seriously, write these down though.
Oh my god. Holy hot damn. That caught me off guard. That was so good, dude. I love a good snore. I think it adds to any laughter, frankly.
That just means
I
it
think
was a
it's
good
beautiful.
old moment.
Exactly, yes. My goodness.
That was funny. I loved it.
Well, what were we even talking about?
I know.
I don't know. That ghost threw me off.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Was it healthcare related? Was it?
People in the comments, tell us.
Relationship related.
What were we talking about? If only this was live.
I know, dude.
Performing, being sick, like having a job, you wish you had it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah. So like when it comes to like the stuff that we are doing and like you know, me getting rest now, it is hard to tell myself to stop, you know.
Yeah.
Because I am enjoying everything that I'm doing, and even if there is a cost, and you know, I still see it once a week and whatever, it's like, you know, it's worth it to me at this given moment. The cost that I'm paying and like getting sick in public restrooms like Gypsy or downtown or whatever, it's still worth it to me. It's not necessarily comfortable, but it's worth it to me, and it still feels good. And I still crave socializing enough. Like, and even in that disability review thing, like they were asking all these different, you know, questions about like quality of life type things. But then they were even asking like, well, do you have problems getting along with people? And it's like through the social stuff, that's not where I struggle. You know, I mean, like I get social anxiety and stuff, but most of the time I can find the connective tissue between me and the other person, and it overrides the fear. And I get like almost like socially excited to override that fear.
Like I'm riding on a social high.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, well, I feel like
almost like a sense of adrenaline.
Yes, exactly. Yes, where I can almost tune into other people's energy or whatever, and almost use it to my benefit in a way. And it's like all of those things. I mean, it's like that's exactly why I wish I could be, you know, in that line of work, like social work or whatever. I think it's kind of made for the person that I am without my conditions. Mm-hmm. You know, I think like that is exactly the path I would have seen for myself if I'd never gotten sick. And I, you know, I
basically just caring for others. I think, like in a just anything,
or even
in
kind
that
of therapy.
line of work.
Yeah. I could have seen myself going in either way, or even like kind of flipping back and forth or something, because I think it would have been absolutely fulfilling to me. And even like how I live my life now, it is kind of still in that direction of like wanting to be as emotionally supportive for the people that I love as possible, because I know that is my strength, and that is one of the kind of rare things that I can contribute.
Well, and I was gonna say back to the point, or to the of you when you were talking about sleeping or not sleeping enough, like the fact that you are still so loving and giving when you're so tired, and then you also feel like puking and like all this stuff.
And I'm sweating, and my thyroid shit is fucking up.
I'll tell you what, I on less sleep, like than like the same, like if we're to get the same amount of sleep, I would be punching babies. That's just like, no, not my baby, just other people's babies. No, no, but I just like my outlook on life is so much worse when I'm tired. I don't want to socialize. Like, I don't want to talk to people.
Oh, dude, I'm a bitch. And my mom can attest to that. That's one of our biggest like qualms. Is that how you say it?
Like recurring arguments or whatever.
Yeah, dude. Even when I was she'll tell you, especially like if you bring it up to her face, she'll be like, yeah, I took her to fucking school every day. Like I was there. And I'm like, it was me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That was the perfect Taylor Swift segue for you, dude.
I'm not a fucking morning person, and that.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Me
well,
neither.
and I mean, like being tired really does affect absolutely everything, and like for Chad too, it definitely affects his social battery and stuff. But for me, I mean, I used to go 48 hours at a time without sleeping.
Which
like
is fucking wild.
When I was getting off of the Ambien, because I was on Ambien for a decade. And that's tragic to me in a lot of ways. It feels like a lot of lost time and a lot of lost clarity, I think. But
being on the Ambien.
Yes, but in getting off of it, it was really hard, and the only way that I could sleep was if I was really freaking exhausted. So it was like 36 to 48 hour days, and it was absurd. And I was also at my lowest like weight at that time too, and I just like wasn't sleeping at all. And actually, they say that is actually fairly common. Like for whatever reason, when you are really low in weight, your body almost like jump starts itself because your blood pressure is getting too low. And so it would just wake me up, and it would just drive me fucking crazy. That whole period of time is just like
a blur.
It was just such a myriad of strange experiences and sensations in the body and whatever. It was rough.
Old man Ron knows exactly what it was like.
Oh God, it was fucking awful.
I know. I think everyone who loved you were definitely like, dear God, please.
Yeah.
Like,
and Dad would have like different conversations with me, even like saying like, well, like this is the worst I've seen you, like, and I'm scared. And I'm like, I'm scared too, dude.
I just remember like barely seeing you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something too. So that's something that Chad and I had talked about on our podcast, was that like during those 4 to 5 years, I mean, like, and I remember you talking with me about it as well. It was like I was so scared to be around people because I felt like I could not coherently speak. I felt like I couldn't, like it was exhausting to think. Like I couldn't afford the energy to be silly. I couldn't afford the energy or the focus that, like, because that's the thing is like my symptoms and everything were so distracting, and it's like I could almost, like with you guys particularly, I could almost like live for these like hours of like quality time, but the rest of it was just brutal.
Yeah, which I'm sure even also felt like more like 10,000 years during the pandemic, and then 48 hours, like already, sometimes 12 hours feels like 5 days. So I can't imagine what that must have felt like.
Yeah, it was a trip in so many ways. And part of like me getting off of Ambien was that, my psychiatrist had passed away to COVID actually. And
yeah, and you were just like hit with like the worst things happening to you.
Yeah, like kind of like all at once. And I had actually started isolating like the year before.
Isolating
COVID.
was what the word I was going to use.
Exactly. Yeah, like
you isolated yourself a lot.
Yeah,
during that time, like with all the Ambien and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And well, like it was primarily like once I started dropping weight, feeling weak as fuck. It was like I felt like I couldn't be myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and you can't. That's the thing. Like, I mean, you have still a much higher stamina than like a lot of people. But yeah, once you're to the brink of survival, like you're on the flow, like then it's like, yeah, you can barely afford to be human, you
exactly
know?
Yeah, like it's taking all I have to like exist.
And it really I think speaks volumes also just to who you are as a person. Like I mean, you've always been somebody who valued friends and family and stuff, but I think once you did get sick and once you did get to that point, like you said, you could make time for people to do, like you would have those like those hours to spend with people that you loved, and then had no other energy for anything else. So it's almost like, not almost like, I know it's like, because I know you, you would push yourself for the ones that you loved, not only for them, but for you, because you also needed that as well.
Exactly. Yes. Girl, and that's exactly what it is now too, you know, because it's like so much of what I'm doing is with people that I love. And it's like, well, I mean, I might go home and nap. I'll tell you what. I mean, because I do think I might need it today. But yeah, I mean, like I do feel very inspired, you know, these days. And I do feel very motivated to continue creating and doing things with the people that I love. And I do feel like I am making the most of my time a lot of the time, you know? So,
well, and a lot of things did start to shift for you. I think that led you to this and stuff of meeting Chad. I mean, I do think like, I mean, there was a period where like, yeah, like everything, you just started to seem like you were getting better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think happiness does do a lot.
Happiness is the key, I guess.
Yeah. That and just surrounding yourself with good people.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. Because, like, the people who will accept you and love you at your worst and that will cheer you on at your best, you know. Because, I mean, I have been lucky enough to really have that. And, like, you know, it was kind of like the year before, it was really Raya, honestly. Like, I mean, Chad has done a lot in my growth.
I was going to say, I feel more like it happened around the time that you got pregnant.
It did.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Because I feel like we all three started spending more time together once you told us you were pregnant.
Exactly. And
fuck, man.
No,
she just brought everyone together.
No, honestly, she did. The thing was that I'd put off, because of COVID, I'd put off a couple like surgeries that I needed. And so, but when
sympathetic
Ashlyn,
crier, dude, I saw that
tear. We're all getting
I'm all night crying.
Yeah, brother. No, but that is how it be sometimes too. And yeah, when I like found that song, I was crying for like an hour. But no, yeah, with Raya, I went out on my roof the night that you told us.
It's always a roof.
It was 4th of July. It was the 4th of July when you told us.
Yeah.
And I went out on my roof and I had a conversation with God, and I was like, brother. I just like my heart was back in the fight, brother. My heart was really back in the fight, and I was like, okay, I'll do the surgery, and I'll fucking figure out what the hell is going on with my thyroid that's fucking me so hard. I'll do whatever the fuck I have to do, and it got better and better with every day. I mean, like, because I found a different formula too, because I have like chronic pancreatitis, and it causes a lot of malabsorption and shit, and so. A peptide-based formula. If you have pancreatitis, this might be good.
We're all just like still talking. Like, yeah,
like
dude.
Yeah. Eyes now.
but yeah, a peptide-based formula started being so much easier for my body to absorb, and that's helped me so much. And I feel like all of those three things in tandem really helped me get to where I am now. And I take so many fucking supplements, dude. You should see my fucking cabinets full of goddamn greens,
now
powders.
It feels like you're a fucking scientist and you like you pinpoint each little thing.
Yeah, all the things that can help me, man, as far as like building muscle, because like I feel like during that time it wore on my heart like hardcore. Because I mean your heart has to work overtime when it's starving, and it's so bad for it. And so I take all these different things for muscle health and heart health and all this shit. And I mean truly, I mean like it was never that like, you know, it was never that I didn't want the time, you know, as far as like wanting to survive and stuff. It just like, if for so long, especially like during COVID, where I couldn't go see a doctor in person, and
Bro,
I couldn't
you were
get,
exhausted.
yeah, exactly.
exhausted.
And also it was dangerous to go to the doctor for a period of time then too. And so it was just like, like, what do I do? And even like going to the hospital to get the surgery, like all of that stuff I did after the vaccines were available and after I was vaccinated and stuff. So I felt safer to do it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, none of it was comfortable, but all of it was so fucking worth it. And even all the work that I did, like with a nutritionist and stuff, and trying to get information on some of the things that might help me, because like I have like blood clots and stuff too. And just kind of like finding like natural blood thinners and things that can, you know, kind of hopefully prevent it from getting worse, at least, or more appearing. I have like one that might be coming up on my leg, which is annoying, but I've had some in my legs before. They just haven't been visible. But yeah, I mean, like it's crazy. And like I said, like Chad has done so much in continuing my growth or whatever, but it was you, Adam, and Raya and our family, you know, that got me here for real. for real.
That's
for
so
real.
crazy to just think of, like, in the spiritual sense, you know, because
yes, I know
I didn't really feel absolutely ready to be a mom yet, but I do feel a little woo woo, and I felt Raya's presence for some time, just like waiting for me to be like, you ready yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, no, not yet. But it's just so crazy, because it's like there was just a moment where I was like, it's time.
Yeah.
And
it was perfect time.
And it's just so crazy. And like just the impact that Raya has had, you know, I think, like, you know, there are a lot of aspects to motherhood that are draining and kind of sacrificial, but
oh yeah, 100%.
there are these other elements that you're just like, whoa, like, you know,
like this is also the highest.
Like literally,
form
you
of
sacrifice
beauty
your
in
body
life.
for 9 months,
and could pass that. You know, you're breastfeeding,
you sacrifice your
sleep.
But in spite of all that, though, like, she brought us together. You know, I think she also brought us together.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Because I just remember when I was like pregnant and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, like Alexis has to come because like she's my sister.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it helped us reconnect a little bit more, you know, especially after the pandemic. And I just feel like, you know, I mean, I was having a hard time too, like in pregnancy, socializing or whatever. Get away, ghost. I know. I mean, I guess if you want to join the conversation, but we need something else besides fuzz.
Give us another beat.
Well,
us another
also,
beat,
like
dude.
you said something about spirituality earlier.
Yes.
And then now he's back.
I know. Spirit.
Wait, is it Zachary?
Aww.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I feel
us.
him around, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sometimes hard for me to distinguish, but...
No, dude.
Is it you, dude? Wait, Buzz, if it is.
No, but with him, like, I do have dreams sometimes.
Hey, Renee? I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, I love you both. But yeah, I had a dream one time where like it was like the lights in my room were off and it was dark and whatever, but I felt like someone sit beside me.
Oh yeah, I
and
you told me this.
yeah, and they were just talking to me, like just kind of like talking with me about like how things were going and stuff. And then I like fell back asleep kind of like in the dream, and then I woke up and, you know, there was obviously it was a dream, but I was like, it felt different, you know. It felt very warm, like it didn't.
So do you believe in ghosts, or do you believe in spirits?
I believe in I believe in like souls. Like
okay.
I think souls are
spirits,
endless.
Souls,
yeah, I think souls are endless. I think
do you think like people can like leave? So like, what do you think ghosts are if they're?
Do you think it's
I
like
think
the
like
soul,
souls.
like
The way that I kind of see it is like we go back to like becoming a part of everything in a way, almost like so I feel like and this is just, you know, my woo woo, but
right.
But like, I mean, I feel like when you call on somebody or whatever, I feel like they're with you, you know. I think
like whenever you talk to them,
like I feel like wherever your energy and your love was spent, I think it remains there. like spiritually. I think it does.
Like what's an example?
Like say like a mother or a grandmother or whatever. I think the love that she gives and the energy that she gives to her children, her grandchildren, I think it stays with them. And so whenever somebody goes, that love, that energy remains. And so whenever they're called on, they're there. You know, they're still with you. They never left. That love and that energy stays with you until you go. And then your love and your energy stays with everybody that you spent your time and energy on. I even wrote a really weird little short story based off of a dream that kind of like follows that theme a little bit in a more literal way.
I mean, in some spiritual things, people who have had near-death experiences say that like when they go in this in-between zone or whatever, that they learn that we choose our lives like before we're born or whatever. Which is interesting because I also do feel like once you give birth too, it's like you kind of feel like this baby is going to choose how it comes into the world as opposed to us being able to decide.
Yeah.
That was the baby.
Yeah, I can definitely
like
see.
You mean like when it comes to the conception of said baby,
like the conception of the soul. Like
yeah, so like I mean, now there is actually, I don't know if you've ever seen the Disney movie Soul, but they kind of actually
play on that,
create on that, yeah. And but I don't know like how far it goes. It's like, you know, if you could know everything that's going to happen in your life, or even if you playfully choose to have these things happen because you know in that moment as a spirit person that like you're just going to come right back to heaven or God or whatever.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like totally fine no matter what you decide. So then you're like, yeah, I'll fucking get struck by lightning on May 5th or whatever. Fucking survive like crazy.
We're just out here living an R.L. Stein choose your own path story.
It's true.
But when you become born, like you forget that you ever did.
That
Like,
you did this.
that
Okay.
any of that exists.
That's kind of a cool theory.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I could see that honestly.
And that
I
some
think
of our evolution is also just remembering who we are, remembering what we are. You know, as far as like,
and
a
who
lot
we
of
that would
always were.
explain fucking. What is it fucking called? Oh my god, deja vu. Fuck.
Oh yes, yes. Actually, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like we've been here before. And it's like we're only just making the active choices now or whatever. But
and like our bodies
made our
are
choice.
still. I think so some people can go on that theory and be like, oh, this is like a simulation or it's like the Matrix or whatever. But your body is still alive and it's still real. Like you're living through bodies, you know, or whatever. This thing, this plane still exists.
Yes.
And that's like, you know, the world keeps on turning even if you die, like, because there's a desire to live within. Did you just try to drink your microphone?
Sure did. Wow.
That's
I'm gonna zoom in on that.
I was so focused on the story. Oh, that visual is gonna be funny because I literally was like,
clip that so hard.
I had the both right here. I was like, it was like when Raya puts the microphone on her mouth. But I was like, I was like, wait, that doesn't feel right.
Oh, that's magnificent. Oh,
This is going to be a good episode.
I know.
Buckle up.
This one might be. I swear, it's like every time we do a new one, I'm like, this is my new favorite. This is my new favorite for sure.
I think this one's going to be my favorite.
Yeah, for real, dude.
We've had laughs. We've had cries.
Yeah,
Ghosts.
we've had more.
Ghosty boys. We've had some ghosty boys up in the house.
I will tell you, if I was alone, I would be scared. But I'm with you guys. I'm like, whatever goes.
Oh my God, that was good.
So, but you were saying?
So
What
anyway.
was I saying? I don't know. It's choosing spiritual lives or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think the times when you can feel that or be like, because I think before, you know, you're like, nah, whatever. But it doesn't necessarily have to be through birth. But this is why I think a lot of women do feel this way about motherhood, of it being like this this magical thing, is like you there is a feeling of like, whoa, like something is aligning in the universe or something, you know?
Yeah.
And that,
alignment is a good way to describe it, actually.
Yeah,
because
and that
there's
means
something,
and that's what, you know.
There's something divine to creation.
But there is like duality where it's like it means something, but it can also still mean nothing at all in the grand scheme of everything, because everything is totally chill, I guess. I don't know, maybe in spiritual heaven thing, whatever it's called, is. Supposedly it's pretty chill up there.
Yeah, right.
So if we die down here, it's kind of chill, like, actually. It's just the people who are still on Earth will miss that person.
You're like,
that's
just a chill girl.
Yeah, and well, like, I kind of think like with dreams and stuff, I mean, I think most dreams are kind of like your subconscious just regurgitating all these random things throughout your life or whatever. But I do think that it's possible that maybe in sleep or whatever that space is for us, that there might be some accessibility from those spiritual loved ones or whatever. And maybe, you know, that's again all my woo woo, but I was gonna say,
so what does it mean when I'm a purple hippo farting it up in a pond in my dream? Like, what does that mean?
And that's what I'm talking about. Is like, I think most dreams are that subconscious regurgitation. Like, I think that they are just randomness, but I do think that sometimes maybe when you need
you can come upon a dream that is like different.
Yeah, maybe when you need it, you might have
Again, I'll make sure it's okay for my mom if I share this story. But she told me once that whenever, like after her mom had passed away, it was very, for those that don't know me, for those that don't know, it was very sudden. It was a car accident, and it was a really big blow to the family, right?
Yeah.
So she said that I can't remember if it was after the funeral or if it was a couple of like days after it happened, but she said that she had a dream. Our family is not religious. My parents are very atheist. They don't believe in God at all or anything like that. They're like, you die, that's it. I'm a little bit different. I don't believe in like God, but I do believe that there's something else out there. I just don't know what it is, right? So I guess I'm more agnostic than, but I don't really believe in like a higher being, I guess. But anyway, my grandmother's family were Irish Italian and very Catholic. And so she had a dream that she was in a Catholic church, I think is how it was, and she was in the pew and she was talking to her mom, and I think what she had said was that her mom told her that it was going to be okay or something like that. And I was like, that's really weird. Like, that can't just be nothing, because you are not religious, so why are you having a dream where you're in a Catholic church? Because I mean, I don't really think that my grandmother was very religious, and like they didn't go to church every day, they, you know, whatever. My mom went to a Catholic school, but I mean, that was just because it was a very good school. You know, they didn't pick it because of that. So there is that. So I do think that dreams, I do think that people can come to us in our dreams. That is something that I believe. I believe that she did come to her to tell her that it was going to be okay, because it was something that my mom did not take very well, as I don't think anybody really would who was close with their parents, whether it's your mom or your dad. So yeah, I do think that they can send you signs, and I do remember at that time my dad was working in a different state, so he would be out of state a lot, and I would sleep in my brother's room because he had a bunk bed. And I remember one night I woke up, and we lived with my grandpa at the time, and he would get up in the middle of the night and turn the TVs off if we had them on. And I guess he had come in and turned the TV off at one point, and so it was raining, and I was like, kind of like half asleep, half awake, and it was very dark, and I was like, ugh. And it wasn't a dream. I was awake. And I thought that the rain, or I thought what sounded like footsteps was the rain on the window, but I had just happened to like kind of look up, and my brother's door was open, and the way that our house is set up is like my room is right here, and then you go around like this little horseshoe thing, right? And then my parents' room's right here. His room was in the middle. Yeah. And so you could see the top of the stairs. And so I looked up, and that room where my parents' room is now was my grandpa's room. And then looking across from it is where my mom and dad's room was. Because like I said, we all lived in that house with him after she passed away. And so I looked up, and right in front of my grandpa's room, I saw like a figure. And it was very like luminescent kind of, but it didn't look luminescent. It looked like you could kind of see through it, kind of not, but it was there. Like it looked solid in a way. I'm being very contradictive.
No, but
it's
I know
hard
what you
to
mean.
yeah, it's very hard to explain. And it was my grandma. I swear to God. I have never been somebody to believe in apparitions because, like I said, I believe in a soul. I believe that they're with us. I believe that we can feel them in things around us, like nature, through our children, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I shit you not, I saw that. I saw it. She was looking at my mom's room, and it almost makes me wonder if that was the same night that she had that dream. And that's what I told my mom because she was like, "You never really told me about that," or no, she had never told me about the dream. That's what it was. And I had brought that up, and she was like, "You know, that is kind of weird," because she couldn't remember when the dream was. So I'm like, I wonder if it was, because I was like, ugh, because I was a kid.
You were young, probably.
I was probably like 7 when this
I
happened.
also feel like kids can
Are
say
very-
more things than
yes.
adults because they've not been programmed to not believe in certain things.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, and especially when we were all kids, sometimes I feel like we saw a bunch of shit like when we were kids.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But that was one of the weirder things. And I do remember I got out of bed and I went into my mom's room and I slept in her room that night because it freaked me out.
Yeah.
But I do remember I like looked down because I got freaked out, and then I looked up and it was gone. So I'm like, I wonder if she like went in there and like
Just like,
inserted into her dream or whatever.
yeah, just comforted her.
Yeah, like not. It wasn't because I didn't feel. I say freaked. I was freaked out, but
Well, just like jarred. Like,
jarred.
yeah,
Yes.
like
It
how?
was jarring because it was like, whoa, somebody's in my house. But then I was like, wait, no, I knew who that was, so I looked up, and then it was gone. So I couldn't really absorb it more. But I know that that's who it was because after I was first scared, I was like, wait. No, I know who that was, and I looked up, and then it was gone.
And it would
So I
make a
just
lot
think
of
it's really
sense
weird.
too, because that's probably where the majority of her energy was spent, in that house. You know, like just it.
Oh yeah, they lived there for. Because she was, I don't remember how old they were when my grandparents got together, but they moved. My mom lived in that house until she was like until she was 18, and then she moved out. And then, yeah, they lived there the rest until they had me. They were 24 when they had me. And I mean, there's pictures of me when I was like 6, 7, running around. Well, younger than that because that's when she passed away. But yeah, in that house, and then we lived there for another till now. We still live there. So that house is like 40 years old, if not older.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think that would make so much sense.
Well,
to me.
and I do feel like if you have experienced a deep sense of grief from certain things, like whether you are religious or not, you might have certain experiences like that, you know, because I do think that grief is pretty insane, and they need to be coming down to us being like, yo, dude, it's all right. It's like, shit, is it hard? Are you sure? Because goddamn, I got to live the rest of this life without you, goddamn. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like those dreams are their way of saying it, not without me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And that's, I mean, I think that's so hard. I you know, me saying this is not me, you know, devaluing how awful that grief is, because I know that me, even though I know that they're still with me, it will fuck me up so royally.
Yeah.
I will be non-functional.
You want them physically.
Yes, I want
you.
hugs.
Yeah.
I want hugs. I want
To be able to
laughter.
talk to
I
them.
want, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just like a bit more of affirmation of their existence, because I do think like in grief and stuff, like
You can wonder, like, are you still there somewhere, you know?
there's that, but also like hold on.
You got it.
I always lose my words, dude. That's why I want to be a writer, so that I can write them all down.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I do. I always lose train of thought.
It's like, okay, with grief, you have this connection to this person. I don't know. It's gone.
Well, I mean, like, I think a lot of people can feel like that tie is like severed or something.
Yeah.
Like when
they're
someone, yeah. But
Oh, okay. It was something like. I'm sorry.
you're
No,
totally
dude,
fine,
you're good.
dude.
I like right when I think I got it, then I'm like making myself laugh.
Oh man, honestly, this is validating for me for all the times that it happens to me too,
Exactly,
dude.
yeah.
In every way. Holy heck, man.
Oh, okay. It's easy to doubt yourself, like in grief of like what is what, because the thing, in order to remember that they are still with us, you have to be like super in tune, kind of like with your gut or whatever it is or whatever, like, and sometimes like grief and other things like can really pull you away, from being able to trust, like, is that what I'm feeling, or am I just insane?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
am I just missing them, or
Right.
whatever? But
well, I think that, and you say, or am I just missing them? I'm like, I think that's when you're gonna see it the most.
Yeah, that's when they're gonna be with
because
you
you're
the most.
calling them to you,
exactly.
kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and by see them, obviously, I mean like around.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like you're saying it. Like,
Yeah.
when
You like feel them kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I have had like different conversations, like with Renee a little bit, like I'll just and even Uncle John and stuff too. Like, there have been different griefs and stuff that have been unexpected in different ways, and I think I mean I want to believe that they know and they feel it, everything that we say and everything that we felt with them and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there is some grief that is just so paralytic, man. I mean, it's unreal, and I dread. I mean, like, honestly, for so long, especially like during that time, like the concept of my parents outliving me was somewhat ideal in some ways, because I could not imagine my life without them. Yeah, and.
Sucks.
And still I feel that way. I mean, I don't want to imagine a life without loved ones, particular loved ones. It's like no. Like, honestly, I can't allow myself to think about it for too long. Outside of just it incentivizing me to spend more time and stuff. Right. But yeah, I mean, I hope and pray for everybody's good health forever. Goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, like, I see people lose, just their pets.
Right.
And
yeah.
I mean, like, for example,
it's brutal.
Yeah. This week we had one. I won't say the name of any hospitals because honestly, it's kind of seems a little bit sketchy, but so I won't say anything in case they're trying to talk to that hospital or anything. But this particular person went out of, or I don't know where they went, but they went on vacation for like a couple of days or something like that. And when they came back, their dog had to have surgery to have what I think was a mammary mass removed or something. Mm-hmm. And basically the animal started going downhill. So they came to us for a second opinion. At first, we thought it was a pyometra because the dog's an intact female, which basically just means it's not spayed. And older dogs, particularly in cats and stuff, they can get infections in the uterus, which is why you should always spay and neuter your pets. Basically to where they need to take it out or it'll rupture and they will get really sick and pass away. So that's what we originally thought it was. But then we had spoken to somebody that was at the old hospital at the other hospital that they went to. And basically we just couldn't get any information, right? Oh, I wonder if that's why.
I know, yeah.
Oh, is it like loose or something?
I don't know.
Because mine is not loose. You want a new cord?
Nah, I'll just hold it.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, because we don't have very long.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so the guy brought the pet in. We thought that we were going to end up euthanizing it, but they ended up taking it home. And then the next day they were going to euthanize it in the morning, but then they ended up no-showing that appointment. Completely understandable. Because it was early in the morning. I wouldn't want to do it early in the morning. I would want to wait to the very end of the day, So I was like, maybe they'll call back later or something. But they didn't. So I was like, okay, maybe the dog turned around and is doing great. And then yesterday at work, they had called and they were like, hey, I missed my appointment yesterday. We want to bring them in today, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. And the person was a little bit upset on the phone, which is understandable. Nobody wants to make that appointment.
Yeah.
So I booked it, and then what we do, the protocol for that is we set up the room and then we take them in there. And so that's what I did. And the person had gotten a little upset and was like, I want to talk to the doctor again. And I was like, okay. So, and by upset, I mean like they were choking up and they were like, I want to talk,
Like almost like I want to make sure that this is the right choice.
Exactly. Which is, I would never, ever expect
someone,
anything less of anybody. Like I would probably do the same thing.
Right.
And it's always harder when it's a guy because it like I was like, oh my god, this full grown man is trying not to cry in front of me, and it just always like hits a little harder. Yeah, especially when it's over something as innocent as like a child or an
animal.
Pet.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, man, it's usually the dudes that are like losing their shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like it really is.
They get attached.
Yeah, they love their dogs. It's crazy, and their cats too. I've seen some pretty intense cat dads too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So I guess one of the things was, I guess the room had kind of jarred him a little bit. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I felt so bad. But I was like, that's just what we do. And I like, and I mean, we've had that happen before, but it's very, very rare. Usually people are pretty ready. So yeah, but it was really sad. And then he ended up taking the dog home, and I hope the dog's doing okay. But it's crazy that, I see people get so connected and upset over their pets and saying goodbye to their pets. It's just like,
so with
I can't. I mean, I've lost people. I've lost, friends, but not somebody like you or
family.
My parents or, So it's just really crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
And I mean, when I lost my grandma, I was only 6. So like I said, I knew.
You can only process so much.
Then there's my brother who like doesn't even really know who she was.
Right. Yeah.
And like my mom was talking about that the other day. She was like, it really bums me out,
Well,
like,
yeah, because you wish that they could. Yeah. Well, like with us. So, my both grandpas had already passed before Ashlyn was born, and then both grandmas were still alive when she was born. But then my namesake Rhonda, she died right before I was born. And so I never got a chance to meet her, but like everybody on my dad's side of the family always tells me that I look like her and that I even kind of act like her in some ways, which I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, that's something that I feel too, is that I really wish that I could have gotten to know her. I wish I could have gotten to know our grandpas too. And I think about that as well, and that like our parents were going through a lot of grief, around the time that they had us. I mean, almost unbeknownst to us in some ways, like, I mean, I feel like with Mom in particular, like she still made things very magical in those early years and stuff too, that like, I mean, I think that's where she found a lot of, like peace and stuff and fun. And so, I mean, Raya makes all the sense too, as far as like how she's motivating in that way.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's something that I tell myself that like if I ever have to face it, I will. But until then, I do not think about it. I do not think about it, and I hope that like sometimes I'll even have a thought where I'm like, well, maybe it'll just be some like catastrophic event or something that takes us all at the same time. All at the same time. I'm like, because that would just be so much nicer, I think, in some ways, for there not to be any time that anybody goes without the other. It's so silly. But we are at a minute 20.
Oh my gosh, an hour 20? Dang.
It's an hour 20, dude.
Like, it was a good episode.
Exactly, man. This one, like I said, is probably my new favorite. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you stayed this whole time, I mean, man, you probably went on a little emotional ride yourself.
And I just want to give a little shout out. We checked all of our stats. We've gotten some new subscribers.
We've gotten some downloads on Spotify.
Just in the last couple days.
Nice.
Yeah. Since the last time we checked?
Yeah.
Well, hello, new subscribers.
And the downloads on Spotify make me
yeah.
really happy because that's a very intentional thing. You know, like for somebody to play something on Spotify, but to actually like download it so they can listen to it offline is like
super cool.
it means everything to me, dudes.
Yeah. Like we were super stoked. So just know you made us smile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually one last thing I forgot, and maybe we can add this in somewhere earlier or later or whatever, but there's this dispensary called Euflora that I am shouting out because it has great prices and great people. Honestly, everybody that I've met in there is so sweet. They do little puff and paints and stuff sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
And they even did like a men's health thing and stuff. Like they'll have little different events going on, and they're really cool. And so if I know there's 1,000 dispensaries, but if you're frugal as I am and you want quality stuff, it's a good spot.
And where are they located?
51st and some. We'll put
I'll
it
add
maybe.
it in,
yeah, we'll
like,
put it
on
in
the
the
screen
description.
and in
There
the
we go.
description.
Yeah, there we go, dude.
We got a few shout outs. What were the other ones? Just her channel, her music channel?
Her channel. Yeah, and then I'm just eventually I'll be doing music stuff on my music channel. I won't really do it on this channel anymore. This will mainly just be stand up and the podcast on this channel.
Like comedy and podcast.
And then but musical comedy still might make its way onto this channel.
Exactly,
just so I have
yeah.
some differentiation, and I don't have 15 channels, so
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll put that in the description as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and I put the All Nighter podcast recent episodes in all my links too. Like whenever I post a video, I always post
And
that in there
also,
as well.
if you're not subscribed for some insane reason,
Yeah.
please subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes, please subscribe, like the video,
Share it
like
with your friends.
Yeah,
you know.
comment,
Yeah, comment. Like,
whatever
what
you
can the
want.
people comment? What would be a fun question to ask our viewers? That would be like,
Okay, I mean, well, are you local or are you a stranger?
Ooh,
That's
yeah,
one.
yeah.
There you go.
Are you
Because
And if
or
you're
are you
not-
somebody who knows us or whatever that's watching or if you are somebody who found us, I really want to hear from you too.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the people who find us, I'm like, well, because I feel
How'd
like the
you
people.
find us?
Yeah, how'd you find us? And like,
What do you like about us?
yeah, exactly.
What do you hate about us?
Like I feel like there's so much curiosity there because like with the people who do know us, I can see why, especially like with you and know your comedy and stuff.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I mean, like it would make sense that they would be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking watch this. But like for people who've never seen us before and whatever, and then just kind of start watching us, I'm like, I'm
And
real
have continued
curious.
to do so.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we see the views, we see them. So
Thank you.
it's really
Truly.
awesome.
thank you so much. Like, you're making dreams come true. Okay, each
Yeah.
one of you.
Yeah, because it's not something that I ever would have expected, honestly.
And I mean,
yeah.
honestly, we probably would have been doing this even if there was no internet.
Exactly.
We would have just done this eventually. or something.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
would've done it
Playing
on a
pretend,
stage.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, straight up. So, I mean, I love you guys, and I hope you guys spend as much time with those that you love as you can. I'll see
Try
you
to get
next
some
time.
sleep or stay up all night, baby.
Yeah, right. Bye.
Bye.